His family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentence.
Yeah. That's a printer. Give a shout out.
Charity this year.
Anecdote if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them.
We're going to take a closer look at Com's relationship with A-list actor Ashton Kutcher, which has been fairly quiet. It started over when he said, "Yo, don't you can't punk me," and I said, "I don't want to tell you everybody's on the table," to which he replied, "Not me, I'm off the table." This sparked our conversation. Following the rapper's arrest, his friendship with Diddy was scrutinized, and as a result, pictures of Ashton with Diddy and videos of him discussing their friendship and remarks surfaced online. Hey everyone, welcome back to Binge Central. Today we're going to dive into a crazy Hollywood bombshell that has everyone talking. It seems like Ashton Kutcher is in the middle of a storm, and it's not just about his wife Muniz, it's about his long-standing friendship with none other than Diddy. These two have been friends for years, always in each other's sphere from parties to business endeavors, but now there are rumors that Ashton is. Ashton is so terrified that he's pointing fingers in a shocking new direction, exposing Mila as Diddy's accomplice in some seriously shady dealings. What has Ashton been trying to hide, and is Diddy really about to flip the script on him? Grab some popcorn, because this is one Hollywood scandal you won't want to miss. Let's get into a complaint. But if that minor or any of these things are true, then begin to sweat. The minor's entry into the criminal case and the subsequent indictment fundamentally altered Diddy's stat strategy. For this reason, Diddy's attorneys have publicly stated that the free costs occurred, but that they were voluntary, and that there is nothing wrong with strange behavior between consenting adults, of course, if there is no force fraud allegedly from his businesses, including his well-known Bad Boy Entertainment, clothing line, and liquor line. There are a lot of people that P did not interact with or work with over the years who are reluctant to come forward, and I believe that one of the main reasons is what this type of association will do for my public image. You know, a lot of celebrities, I think, really rely heavily on this. Allegedly, funds were used from their resources to engage in this alleged pro activity across state lines, which is why it's a federal case, because it's across straight lines. The intersection of their public image, the discovery of these victims, and the pipeline in and pipeline out are equally crucial and significant, and addressing them is similarly important. I want to draw attention to one thing in particular, which is that being in foster care, I remember the night I'll give specifics that Ashton Kutcher and Muniz are once again under public scrutiny. This time, the ongoing drama surrounding Diddy has prompted as an insider exclusively told a news outlet, Ashton is considering leaving Hollywood and moving to Europe because he is angry about being involved in controversy again due to his previous relationships. The source explained that, first with Danny Masterson and now with Diddy, he is convinced that there are better places to live than Hollywood because, in his opinion, the town has turned into a dumping ground for character letters that are written to represent the person we have known for 25 years, so that the judge can consider that in its entirety. Summer in Europe spark relocation thoughts. The couple, who first met while working on that 70s show in the late 1990s, recently spent their summer in Europe, which made them think more seriously about starting over. They even took their kids to see Taylor Swift's A's tour in London in June, enjoying some time away from Hollywood. The letters were not written to cast doubt on the legitimacy of the legal system or the validity of the jury's verdict. I'm Michael Kello, the naive young man who's kind of whipped between his girlfriend and his friends. I try my best to keep things real with pretty much everyone. I play Jackie. A few months ago, Mila was here and talked about the first time Ash said he loved her. I think it's amazing, so I want to show you it. Source: they had a great time in Europe, because they are now seriously considering moving there because they believe it would offer a calmer and more grounded environment to raise their kids. Both my mother and I experienced this, so when my father told my mother that he was in love with her 3 months into their relationship, she completely broke down and said, "Okay, talk to me in the morning like we'll reconvene this." The same thing happened to me with my husband, who 3 months into their relationship showed up at my house at 2 in the morning and said, "I love you so much." I said, "Oh Lord, have?" And he replied, "No, I love you so much." I said, okay, but one big. Ashton truly enjoys the tech scene in Silicon Valley and feels that it would give their kids a more normal life, far from the craziness of Hollywood. They've grown sick of how shallow Hollywood can be, and even moving to Monterrey doesn't seem like enough of an escape anymore. The challenge is that they work in the US, and they worry that Europe might be too far from their business commitments. If moving to Europe doesn't work out, they're also considering Northern California as a backup plan. I felt suffocated. You felt suffocated by me. Oh, I was just so overbearing, wasn't I? And what else is going on? I took the kids. Oh, you took the kids. I don't get the kids anymore. You had a very dark secret exposed. Oh my gosh, what was the dark secret? I don't know, I only have this foe. Going on, it's over between us, yeah, what are we going to do? That has been extremely dark. Kutcher is currently dealing with some controversy surrounding Diddy, who was arrested in September 2023 on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and exploitation. In a 2019 interview with Hot Ones, Ashton praised Diddy but alluded to the wild parties the rapper was known for, saying there were things he couldn't share. He asked Ashton Kutcher this while they were eating spicy wings on Hot Ones. The troubled music mogul is currently being held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center while he awaits trial on serious charges including exploitation, racketeering, and transporting people for the rough trade. Ashton Kutcher has known Diddy for almost 20 years, and they have spoken well of each other in public. Ashton reportedly regrets his close ties with Diddy, recalling how he met the rapper and about Com's famous party. It's not really a party story, but Ashton even went to some of Diddy's well-known events, such as his white parties. Our relationship was really strange, so it began when he said, "Yo, you can't punk me." And I said, "I don't want to tell you everybody's on the table." He's saying, "Not me. I'm off the table." That started our conversation, and we quickly became friends. We used to hang out and watch football together. One day he came over, and I said, "I'm going for a run," and he replied, "Oh, I'll go." Ashton regrets ever being friends with Diddy, feeling deceived, betrayed, and used. He feels the same way about his former co-star from the 70s, Danny Masterson, and now only trusts his wife, Mila Kunis. He intends to keep his inner circle close and focus only on his family. For a run with you, Diddy, party stories, man, that was like some strange memory. However, sources claim that Ashton is growing increasingly concerned that Diddy might do anything to shorten his time in jail. Ashton Kutcher's concerns stem from another controversy in October 2023 when he and Lunas wrote character support letters for Danny Masterson, who was given a 30-year sentence for SSA. The couple later apologized in a public video, and Ashton even resigned as chair of his anti-child SA organization as part of the fallout. According to sources, Ashton is worried about how Diddy's investigation will go, and that he wouldn't think twice about lying to authorities or NAM. Diddy could say or do anything to protect himself at this point, and everyone close to him is worried that he might fabricate accusations to clear his name. The question now is, how does Ashton Kutcher fit into this Shancom saga? He is facing charges of conspiracy, transportation to engage in prostitution, which are extremely serious felonies that carry a maximum sentence of life in prison. In the midst of all this chaos, Ashton Kutcher and Muniz were spotted having a good time. Over the weekend, Mila was seen getting out of her car wearing a pink, blue, and white plaid button-down shirt, wide-leg jeans, and a brown belt. She had her hair in a ponytail and carried a cross-body bag. Ashton kept it casual in light blue sweatpants, a navy t-shirt, sunglasses, and a ball cap as they walked down the tree-lined street in Los Angeles. This came after rumors circulated that Ashton felt bad about his friendship with Shaw Diddy Combs after Diddy's recent arrest. Ashton Kutcher is being advised to choose his friends more carefully as Hollywood scandals unfold with the release of his upcoming Ryan Murphy series The Beauty, even though he hasn't been charged with anything recent. While he has received criticism for his relationships with two of Hollywood's most controversial figures, it may be difficult for him to rebuild his reputation following the Diddy incident. Alongside Evan Peters, Anthony Ramos, and Jeremy Pope, Diddy's career is booming, but some critics are pointing out his close ties to Danny Masterson. Diddy is receiving a lot of backlash online for his remarks, or perhaps I should say, that he didn't make any about Ashton Kutcher and his wife, Muniz, who were shunned for their support of their longtime friend and fellow star on that 70s show, Danny Masterson. You may recall that last year Masterson was found guilty of a crime, and Kutcher and Kunis issued letters of support after. It's difficult to overlook how Ashton once praised the controversial rapper Sean Diddy Combs, who is currently facing exploitation charges. People are beginning to re-evaluate his wild star-studded parties and his connections to A-yes celebrities, such as Leonardo DiCaprio and Martha Stewart, but his conviction that Masterson had always treated people with decency, equality, generosity. And Combs' legal troubles haven't affected the planned November premiere of the FX show. When Ashton Kutcher was asked about Diddy's parties in a 2019 Hot Ones interview, he hesitated a few times before admitting, "I've got a lot, I can't tell," then added, "Can't tell that one either, I'm cycling through them." That comment has drawn attention, especially in light of reports that Diddy's parties frequently involve drugs and people walking around naked in a 2002 resurface clip. Diddy even joked about this. Ashton Kutcher was a regular guest at Diddy's events and even co-hosted the White Party with him in 2009, so it begs the question, what do we really know about their friendship? They became swiftly friends and just hung out to watch football together. He came over, and I said, "I'm going for a run," and he said, "Oh, I'll go for a run with you." We went for a run, and about halfway through, he said, "Yo, I'm running out of gas at the moment," but we had paparazzi all around us. So he said, "You need to slow down, but make it look like you're not slowing down." He was losing it. For example, Ashton Kutcher and Diddy's friendship has been well known for almost 20 years. In the same 2019 Hot interview, Kutcher revealed that they first met in 2002 when he was hosting MTV's Punk, and Diddy was leading in. Ashton, who was a member of the band making the band We Became Fast Friends, talked about how they used to hang out and watch football together. He even related a story about a run they went on where he struggled to keep up but was motivated to train for the 2003 New York City Marathon because he got skunked on this run that year and decided to run the New York Marathon. I like that he bounces back well because he just can't lose even when he's that close to humility. The two appeared particularly close in the early 2000s. They met about a month before Punk premiered, and a few months later, Kutcher and his then-girlfriend Brittany Murphy were seen sitting courtside with Dodie at an NBA All-Star game. A few months later, they collaborated at the 2003 MTV Movie Awards, where they presented an award, talked about hot chicks, and gave the Best Villain Award to 13-year-old Dee Chase, who played Samara in The Ring. Looking back, that scene feels. Ashton Kutcher and Diddy reflected on their friendship during an appearance on The Late Late Show with James Corden in 2018. Ashton talked about how much time they spent together in their early years, saying that if you're a single guy, there's no better person to hang out with than Diddy. "We had a lot of fun, and they even joked about Donald Trump stopping by one of Diddy's parties after Sean Diddy's indictment and arrest. This was particularly awkward when Diddy invited Chase to an after-party on camera in 2018. Among the many celebrities who attended Diddy's extravagant white parties, one is Ashton Kutcher, an actor who has gone on record about those parties and what he can't tell well. There are also some unsettling new videos, but Ashton's relationship with Diddy has caused some to doubt his work as an advocate for victims of child exploitation. He has testified before Congress about his efforts, and even co-founded the anti-human exploitation organization. Last year, Ashton resigned from Thor after facing criticism for standing up for his former co-star Danny Masterson, who was on trial for drinking and having an affair with 2 women in 2017. Masterson was accused of several things, which he denied at the time. He and Kutcher co-starred on another sitcom, The Ranch, more than 5 years after Danny Masterson's allegations surfaced. That's my day job, and I'm sticking to it. As rumors about Ashton's relationship with Diddy resurface, TikTok has been buzzing with claims that Ashton and his wife, Muniz, are divorcing. The actor breaks his silence and opens up to Esquire, saying that it's complicated and that he wants Masteron to be found innocent of the charges against him, but also doesn't want his friend to get off the hook. "I feel bad for anyone who feels violated in any way." Adding that Ashton isn't involved in the Diddy discussion, the source also mentioned that Ashton has only seen Diddy at a few public and business events that were covered by the media. He and Kutcher were frequently pictured together, with Kutcher demonstrating his support for Kum's business endeavors by attending Kum's Labor Day white parties. The truth is that I post the things that I post on public social media with great care. As the federal investigation into Diddy continues to proceed, a friend of Diddy is anticipated to be subpoenaed. Rumors that Ashton may be involved in the investigation are straining his friendship with Diddy. According to some reports, Ashton attended some of Diddy's famous parties where people were allegedly exploited and celebrities were filmed in compromising situations. He allegedly used these recordings to blackmail his influential friends' homes, fame, and influence because of Sean Combs, who has gone by many names since beginning his career in New York City in the 1990s. We're talking about P. Diddy, Puffy, and even just Love, which he discovered in Bad Boy Records in 19, and which is how Combs connected with one of his close friends, Ashton Kutcher. Their friendship began with the prank show Punk, which we all remember from that one. Combs would go on to produce multiple seasons of Making the Band on MTV, a reality competition where, as more of Diddy's secrets come to light, many believe that his friends may be in danger, but there is conjecture that Diddy might escape jail because of his connections with powerful politicians. According to a source, Ashton and Mila are keeping quiet about Diddy for the time being, despite the fact that Ashton has been friends with Diddy for 20 years. He has also distanced himself from Cassie's lawsuit and the new accusations. It's interesting to observe how Ashton Kutcher, who was once a prominent voice in the fight against human exploitation, is now embroiled in these grave accusations as online debates heat up and Hollywood's secret world is revealed, exposing disturbing facts that have shocked many people. A darker side of the glamorous industry is revealed when Time magazine names Ashton Kutcher as one of the 100 most influential people that. Combs quoted Ashton Kutcher as saying, "He's a sounding board for me, like me he's a mogul, a new media mogul, but we are yin and yang. I am in your face, but he is understated cool, suave." Kutcher has been one of the few well-known people to publicly speak out against these troubling practices in Hollywood, and he even sent a strong warning to the powerful elites responsible for the abuse, signaling that they can no longer avoid the consequences. As more of these troubling stories surface, it becomes evident that power dynamics and institutional failures have allowed this behavior to continue. Hollywood is frequently perceived as the epicenter of these issues. Many people believe that Hollywood has turned into a place of open secrets where dark activities are hidden in plain sight. The Harvey Weinstein case is a prime example of this. His harmful actions were kept under wraps for years. Known for allowing such behaviors to occur, but one individual pointed out that inappropriate touching is only one aspect of it. There are worse things occurring behind closed doors that most people couldn't even imagine. In my work against human trafficking, I've met victims in Russia, India, Mexico, New York, New Jersey, and all over our nation. Carnal harassment seems to have been accepted in the PA. It has been difficult to address these issues because Hollywood tends to respond with silence or fear. However, as these truths come to light, more people are becoming aware of the need for change, and there is a growing call to question the systems that have allowed this misconduct to continue. It is evident that Hollywood's culture needs a serious overhaul to make it a safer and more just place for everyone. The entertainment industry has been troublesome for far too long, which is devastating for children who frequently remain silent as victims. I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no one should ever see, like video footage of a child my age being abused by an American man in Cambodia. The child was so conditioned by her surroundings that she believed she was playing, and many people have heard about it. It devastated me and haunted me for the next 3 months. I had to go to sleep every night thinking about that little girl who was still being abused and the fact that if I built the right thing, we could. Harvey Weinstein, despite being the target of jokes and pop culture, continued to have a huge influence by producing hit films and winning Oscars. He was viewed as nearly untouchable in the industry, but some young, hopeful artists fell prey to his manipulation, and he worked hard to keep their stories quiet. The Weinstein Company is a prime example of this, where women spoke out about their experiences for years, but their voices were ignored. Even though there were indications of his wrongdoing, Weinstein's power allowed him to continue operating as a predator for a long time. Today he was in a courtroom in New York, before being charged with new crimes in Los Angeles. 2 women were at the same hotel one night immediately after the other. and the defendant used his influence and power to get access to his victims before committing violent crimes against them. An Italian woman accused Weinstein of forcing himself on her, leaving her afraid of the repercussions if she resisted, feeling helpless, so she complied. This incident, along with others from more than 20 years ago, was kept under wraps until the New York Times revealed Weinstein's pattern of mistreatment. Following this, numerous women from the 1990s came forward with similar accounts of how he coerced them into intimate acts, particularly those who were new to the industry. In 2017, Waddell David filed a lawsuit accusing Weinstein of human exploitation, claiming that he had enticed her to his hotel room while pretending to be discussing a role in Marco Polo. The revelations rocked Hollywood and sparked calls for greater accountability and protection for vulnerable people in the industry. It's heartbreaking to realize that actresses who stood up to Harvey Weinstein and turned down his advances were blacklisted for simply doing the right thing. The court's decision to allow the case to proceed is an important step, acknowledging that the plaintiffs have valid claims that Weinstein violated federal laws by using the promise of movie roles to demand intimate favors. The idea that these actresses gain nothing of value from those meetings, or that opportunities to work with Weinstein's team held no worth, is the reality of today's industry. The judge also acknowledged that for aspiring actresses, getting the chance to meet a well-known film producer like Weinstein is extremely valuable. A private meeting to discuss their work or potential roles could be life-changing for their careers. Women Faced is important because it emphasizes the need to hold people accountable for their destructive behavior and makes it clear that such behavior will not be tolerated or accepted in any industry. Despite Harvey's efforts to settle the lawsuit and the fact that some victims dropped it, numerous prominent figures knew about his wrongdoings, and Weinstein is just one example of the serious problems in the industry, which is full of similar issues.